Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader and we are doing a book tag today. I have my laptop in front of me because we're doing a book tag today, and this is the How I Choose My Books book tag. I got it off the ZZ with Books blog, which is where I get all my book tags from. I'll leave a link to the tag down below. Basically, it's like finding a bunch of books off your shelf and we're just gonna talk about them and what I thought and so on and such, which as a lot of tags tend to do. So, it says it was created by Emma at the Bookish Underdog. So, thank you, Emma. So the first question or prompt, I guess, is find a book on your shelves or e-reader with a blue cover and what made you pick up this book. Let me just, can I set my laptop on the ground just while I talk about the books? So, for this prompt, I went for Once Upon a Broken Heart by Miss Stephanie Garber. As you can see, there's plenty of blue on the cover. The reason why I picked this up, why did I pick it up? Well, I looked at the cover, saw the knights, the flowers, little foxes. It said fairy tale on the back. It said happily ever after on the back. It was giving whimsical. It was given fairy tale. It was given all the things that I like. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll pick this up. And I saw some people online talk about it, and I was like, oh, go off then. I'll read it. Being honest, I had read Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I'll be honest, I don't remember. I didn't like purely dislike it. I just remember reading it and going, it was fine. Nothing to sing home about. But then I picked this up completely on a whim and I loved it. Like, do you see all these tabs? You see all the tabs? I love this. It was so addicting and entertaining, and it was like an episode of Once Upon a Time in a book, maybe written a little bit better, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I love this. It's basically about this girl who is not having a very happy time. She is witnessing the man she loves about to get married to someone else, and she's like, no, 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 I can't have this. I shall not have this. So she goes to this person known as the Prince of Hearts to basically ask him to stop this so that the man she loves will be with her instead. And that is basically it in a nutshell. So I don't really want to give away too much, but if it sounds like something you would like, then don't stop yourself from picking this up, because this was really, really fun. Right, let's pick the laptop off the ground. And the next prompt is think of a book you didn't expect to enjoy but did. Why did you read it in the first place? I mean, that could be said for Once Upon a Broken Heart. But one that I read that I genuinely thought that I would hate this. Because, anyway, so I'll just show it to you. It's Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. Look how shiny. Yes, it's the Fairy Loot edition. Clearly, I love this series because I have the Fairy Loot editions of the trilogy. But I didn't read this when I was a teenager. I read this for the first time as an adult. So, excuse me. Yeah, I read it for the first time as an adult. I think it was like 2018 when I read it. And I was a full adult, mostly, by that time. And I got this little box set of the paperbacks from Book Depository, rest in peace. And I remember them arriving and thinking to myself, I'm going to hate these. Like, I just feel in my bones, I'm just going to hate this. Like, buying these was a waste of money. Like, I don't think I'm going to like these at all. And then I read it and it was like, let me eat my words with a side of ice cream and strawberries, because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I guess to answer the question, why did I read it in the first place? Purely because, again, it was a series, I never read it as a teenager, and I was just curious, I was kind of doing this thing where looking back at like series that came out years ago that everyone else read when they were teens that I never read as a teenager, because when I was a teenager and getting into reading, if it didn't have a vampire in it, I wasn't interested. And this didn't have vampires, so I wasn't interested. But anyway, I read it and I had the whole the trilogy devoured in like 3 days, in like 5 days. So yeah, that was why. So let me know some of your answers to these in the comments. I would be intrigued. And then this one is: stand in front of your bookshelf with your eyes closed and pick up a book at random. How did you discover this book? Now, you can do the random option on Goodreads to do this, but I actually I sat in front of my bookshelf out there and just closed my eyes and ran my hands over the shelf and just picked up the first book that I grabbed. And Legend of the White Snake. Can you see it there? It's got Legend of the White Snake by Shirley. I remember walking into Waterstones and I was looking around and I was thinking, oh, everything here looks the same. Nothing here is appealing. And just when I was about to give up, I saw this standing out like this on the shelf. And I saw the gold and I saw these two on the cover and I went, oh, okay, you've drawn me in, excuse me. Giving sea drama. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, giving wuxia drama vibes. And it's gay? Are you kidding? It's giving sea drama vibes and it's gay. And one of them is this one has like a hidden identity and this one's a prince, and they end up okay, this is mine now. Like, say less. Say absolutely less. So I took it home, read it, and I made it a book club pick, and I gave it 5 stars, and I have a review on my channel of me just gushing over this book, and I'm morally tempted to reread it, if I'm being honest with you. And if I do reread it, I may end up tabbing it and annotating it because I loved it so much. Is it perfect? No. But did it give me everything that I needed in that time when I read it? Yes. Yes. And if you're like me and you love sea dramas and you love ancient Chinese gays, then you should read it too. Let me see. So this is fun, isn't it? I love doing tags like this. Pick a book that someone personally recommended to you. What did you think of it? Now, this one, I picked up The Vampire Lestat. Because I don't own a copy of Interview with a Vampire, but I remember years ago, I was getting into reading and my cousin knew that I like books about vampires, so she actually recommended Interview with a Vampire, and she lent me her copy. And Interview with a Vampire, fine, but then she said read Vampire Lestat and it's even better, and I did, and it's true, and it is. Yeah, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. I would totally reread this because Lestat is amazing. This is basically his story, his origin story, and leading up and all the shenanigans that he got up to. And yeah, yes, love this. And Louis hardly in it, which is a bonus because Louis is well, he's a word I can't say on YouTube. Let me see. Okay. Pick a book that you discovered through YouTube or book blogs. Did it live up to the hype? Now, this series in general has very many different little series. It's a whole wide world. But I've got Lost Hero here by Rick Riordan, but I'm talking about the entirety of the Percy Jackson verse in general. I discovered Percy Jackson through Christine over at Poland Bananas Books, the very first booktuber that I ever subscribed to ever on YouTube. And I remember she was reading Percy Jackson, and I remember just hearing her hyping it up so much that I was like, right, I need to read this. I need to read this series. I need to see what all the fuss is about. And I did. I read it. I mean, I read as an adult, grant you, but you don't have to. Doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what age you are. You want to read Percy Jackson, you read Percy Jackson, and that's exactly what I did. And obviously, this is the first book in the secondary series, and I can't really give a synopsis about it because it would spoil literally everything, and I don't want to do that to you. But Percy Jackson starts with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. The only reason I'm not holding that one, it was underneath a bunch of stuff, and this was just easier to reach. So, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief is basically about a boy who discovers that he is a demigod, half human, half god. He had a godly parent. And the shenanigans go from there, as I like to say. So if you haven't read Percy Jackson, absolutely would recommend. I don't care how old you are, you should read Percy Jackson. It's wonderful. It's amazing. And then I think we are nearing the end of this tag, friends. I think we're nearing the end. The last one, I think the last one. No, it's not the last one. Find a book on your shelves or on your e-reader with a one-word title. What drew you in to this book? And I picked Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Is Legendborn one word or two? I'm going to go with one. Reason why I picked this up was because way back when in 2020, that was 5 years ago. Wow. Way back when everything was going down during that era of our lives, this came out and everybody was talking about it. And I was like, yes, 100%. I'm going to totally read that because it's written by a Black author and I need to read more books featuring that are written by Black authors and that have lovely, their main characters, especially the girlies on the front. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. And also it has the elements of the King Arthur mythos in here as well. So mesh the King Arthur stuff with the Black Girl Magic stuff, weave all that in together, and you've got this. And this was wonderful. It's amazing. Like, it tackles so many different issues. And if you're a fan of all the stuff I just mentioned, then get this. Get this book and then read the other two books because the other two books are phenomenal. And Tracy, I need book 4. I need book 4 so bad. Let me see. What book did you discover through a film/TV adaptation? I'm gonna say Twilight. I'm gonna say Twilight because, excuse me, my throat gets so dry if I sit and talk. So yes, Twilight. I saw the movie before having read the book. I remember me and my friends, we went to go and see it on the night it opened up in the cinemas here in Belfast. And all the other tryhards were there with their books, sitting, looking at them and discussing and whatever. And we were just sitting there because we purely went because Robert Pattinson, and we were all like, oh, that's that hot guy from the 4th Harry Potter movie. He's super hot. He's playing a vampire in this. We should go and see this. So we did. And it was great. I loved it. It was I remember my 17-year-old self thinking that I had never seen anything so wonderful in my life. And then straight after the movie, we jotted down to the bookshop and we bought the book immediately. And then I read the first one and then I read the other 3 and the journey went from there. It was amazing. It was a good time. You know, Twilight has its problems, but if it weren't for it, I wouldn't be the reader that I am today. I can be completely real with you. I would not be the reader that I am today. And actually, this leads us into the last question. Think of your all-time favorite books. When did you read them? Why did you pick them up in the first place? Yata, yata, yata. Okay, well, as I just mentioned there, Twilight, you know, it's not, listen, I wouldn't recommend it as one of my favorite books of all time, but at the time when I read it, I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was great. I was deep in the world. I was fully Team Edward for about a year. And then New Moon came out. Jacob took off his shirt and everything went south from there, for being honest. I ended it purely being Team Jacob, but if I was to rewatch it now, like, my whole entire attitude that would totally change now. But like Twilight, House of Night, the Shadowhunter Chronicles, like those three, I can totally sit here with confidence and say if it wasn't for those series, I definitely would not be the reader that I am today. Because it was through reading those and then discovering BookTube that I was able to find more books and discover like more different types of genres within the young adult category. And then, you know, growing up, obviously, maybe reading books that are a little geared towards a little bit older, but like I read a wide range of things. But like those three major series that I just mentioned, especially Twilight, problematic as it is, I wouldn't be the reader that I am today without it. So I'm thoroughly thankful to it for that. As cheesy as that sounds, you know, when you're the weird kid that doesn't have any friends, you know, books are your safe space. So that's all I'll say on that. So yeah, why don't you guys tell me about some of your favorite books down in the comments, your all-time favorites. How did you discover them? You know, what happened, like what, you know, like for me, yeah, it was a friend actually gifted me the first House of Night book. I probably should have mentioned that, but yeah, let me know all your tea down in the comments. Leave the video a like if you like what you see, and if you really like what you see, then feel free to subscribe, ring the wee bell so as you know whenever I upload next. All my socials are down below as always, my Blue Sky, Instagram and Threads, and my TikTok, so feel free to follow me on any of those if you want. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.